Hi, I'm Richard Grodeget, one of the Bay Region's regional directors for industry engagement in the ICT sector. Prior to taking on this role, I was full-time CS faculty at Ohlone College. While at Ohlone, and in an effort to save our IT training programs after the dot-com bust, we invested in NETLAB in 2003. With NETLAB, we were able to take the commute out of the loop, move to a hybrid teaching model, and save our programs. I was not alone in this approach. My colleagues at Cabrillo, Chabot, Foothill, Hartnell, and Santa Rosa Junior College did the same. Though we all successfully saved our programs back then, keeping our individual college NetLab systems running was a challenge. We agreed that we should figure out a way to share this resource. In 2015, using our 40% CTE enhancement fund, Bay Area community colleges joined to establish a remotely shared Information and Communications Technologies ICT lab facility to serve our ICT students who needed hands-on skills demanded by ICT employers. Colleges with existing NetLab systems agreed to move their equipment and their NetLab licensing to a shared data center at Cabrillo College. With our shared NetLab setup, in one budget cycle, we've been able to lower the cost of education for our learners and have seen a significant increase in each year of operation. Today, 20 of the 28 colleges share this valuable resource. So cybersecurity, networking, virtualization, and more, NetLab Plus has given our Bay Region instructors and their students access to great content, aligned with industry certifications and developed in collaboration with leading industry partners. NetLab runs on VMware, and as a result, is our opportunity to serve students beyond our ICT sector. Any student who needs to access a computer application that they are not able to install on their personal computers can access those applications through NetLab. All they need is a connection to the internet, a browser, and an account on the NetLab system. Scheduling software can help share the server and equipment resources efficiently. Students and instructors can schedule their time. The intuitive scheduling feature allows 24/7 access to IT training equipment and software applications, enabling students to support their learning and for instructors to support their curriculum. Custom-built topologies can be used, or pre-built topologies, cybersecurity, networking, virtualization, and more. NetLab gives access to great content aligned with that industry certification and developed in collaboration with our leading industry partners. Web-based tools make it easy to administer the NetLab system. Intuitive lab and pod design tools enable you to integrate custom content as well. So with NetLab, equipment is automatically configured for each lab, saves the instructors hours of valuable class time, enabling your program to support more students and classes. Topologies like this one pictured here would be very difficult to reproduce in a face-to-face computer lab environment. So on August 30th, 2015, our shared BACCC NetLab remote lab environment launched. Our website, pictured here, followed. NetLab is not a simulator. It's real hardware that's racked up in our data center hosted at Cabrillo College. Cabrillo had the location. That's where the space was. The former CIS data center gave us an opportunity to turn this into our shared data center. We had to start from scratch. Work began on July 1st, 2015, once the funding was secured. We had 2 months to get it running before the start of fall classes at the end of August. We did run into a few problems. As our backhoe was trenching, the water main was damaged and much of the campus was without water for the day. And you can see here, we just missed the gas main. Made lots of progress through the 2 months. Within a couple of weeks, we were racking and stacking the equipment and ready to roll and launch on August 30th, 2015. That's when the service was launched. Students were able to log in, access the virtual computer and the content to do their labs. So when a student logs in, like here, They'll get their home page on the NDG scheduling software. From here, a student can schedule access to the virtual machines and to do their labs. All they need to do is pick the lab content that they want. In this case, we're going to pick Fusion 360. That's the application we want to work with. Schedule a day and time that we want to do that work. We can do it immediately if there's a computer open or sometime in the future. We can enter the lab once the appointment becomes available, clicking on the Enter Lab button. That's going to launch the virtual machine. It'll be illustrated with a little image here. That image is a link that you can click on that will actually launch the Windows 10 desktop. And from here, remember this was the Fusion 360 lab, we can click on the Fusion 360 icon, launch the application, sign in with our credentials for the application, and then do our work and save the work on our Google Drive, Dropbox, or Microsoft OneDrive as well. Instructors too can log in with their instructor account, special account with special resources to manage classes, to manage the users in those classes, to manage the content for those classes as well. As you can see here, this instructor has access to several different types of applications. Most colleges in the region have open computer labs. Students are free to come into the lab, sit at a computer station, launch their application, and do their lab work. The labs are not open all the time, and in today's pandemic, most likely will not be open at all. NETLAB can help. Students just need an internet connection, and low bandwidth actually works. They need a browser on a computer like a Chromebook or Mac or Windows laptop. They need access to NETLAB through the internet. They need to click on the virtual machine that has their content, click on the application that they want to use and do their work. Here's a list of the applications on the left that NETLAB has been supporting for some time now. Here are some in the middle that have been successfully tested. We know they'll work and are ready to roll for this fall. And over here on the right are some applications that we're testing right now, seeing if we can get it to work on our NETLAB as well. There are some applications that require better hardware to support the graphic intensive applications. This means that a graphics processing unit needs to be added. Literally, it means you need to have a server hardware that's twice the size of what we have existing. We've purchased this equipment. We're testing it right now. David Hovey, our NETLAB system administrator, has been testing a GPU solution. We had hoped to simply add the GPU-enabled servers to our existing NETLAB, but unfortunately, NETLAB scheduling software does not work with the GPU-enabled systems. This is not a dead end, though. We are exploring access to the GPU servers and the applications that need to run this resource through some kind of remote desktop connection. And David is testing this approach as well. NETLAB came to my rescue for our IT training programs back in after the dot-com bust. We're faced with another situation today that I think this could be a solution to help us with our programs as well. During the pandemic, when we will probably not be back on campus through the fall, and as we discovered, our NETLAB helped us every day since the time we had installed it. So if there are any questions, if you'd like to contact me or David, our system administrator, here are our email addresses, and here's a link to the NETLAB Bay ICT data center at Cabrillo College.